Let's talk about Javier Aguirre's call-ups for the November friendlies against Uruguay and Paraguay. I'm not going to go over the entire list here, but I will put it to the side of us so you guys can read it off if you haven't seen it already. But let's just get into it. Let's talk about the notable exclusions first. Now, there are some that are a technical decision. There are some that are injuries. Let me cover those who are technical decisions that Javier Aguirre just decided to not call up. And when I do, I want you guys to say agree or disagree. Now, to those of you watching, if you want to participate, do so by commenting down below and letting us know if you agree or disagree with these decisions. But there's 4 big ones that are not with this squad, gentlemen. Number 1, Memo Ochoa.
Nay, damn it. I mean, we already know about me, so let's just move on to the next one. You know what I mean?
this was good. Well, can you agree or disagree? I didn't hear you.
Agree, yeah.
Okay, all right.
I think it's time to bring in a new, yeah.
This might be the last time we're mentioning his name ever. Number 2, who is not on the team, Jorge Sanchez.
Agree.
That's a yay. I mean, Elijah, I already know your answer.
No. Well, actually, I'm going to disagree with this one here. Because look at the alternative, and we'll go into the inclusion part a little bit more. The alternative is instead Kevin Alvarez and Israel Reyes. I don't know. Based off how Jorge Sanchez has been performing recently, this is an interesting pick. I'm surprised he didn't bring him. Like as far as I know, there's no injury. There's no scandal.
Looks, I mean, Kevin was great in the Despicable Me movies, bro. Let me tell you something.
Okay. Yeah, but that's maybe like the most he could do. I mean, we've seen him with this Mexico team. He doesn't really do much. It's a little interesting to me. I would have brought Jorge Sanchez and at least let one play a game and then the other play the other. It's just a little interesting to me. Now we're kind of stuck with Kevin Alvarez. Number 3, Charlie Rodriguez. I think this is a unanimous agree.
I don't even have to say it.
Yeah, this is a unanimous agree.
This is a beautiful era right here.
It's about
pure
time.
Beauty.
It's about time.
I mean,
it's about
it's
time.
Probably the smartest decision he's ever made. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's a thing of beauty.
It took him to November 2025 to decide that.
Yeah, it took him several T-minus a couple months till the World Cup.
Years, honestly.
Watch him show up in the World Cup squad. It's gonna be hilarious. He's gonna just rock up in the World Cup squad randomly.
I don't know.
I'm not fully convinced, but you know what? I don't gotta mention his name, even though I know I will. So I'm blessed.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely one we've been waiting for, and the midfield looks honestly really good, but we'll talk about that later as well. The last one I want to talk about here that's not in the squad because of a technical decision is Julian Araujo, and I fully agree with this because, when you look at the same argument for Jorge Sanchez, right? But the inverse of it, right? I would prefer Julian Araujo over Kevin Alvarez and maybe Israel Reyes. But Araujo's not fucking playing. And the one time he's played this year, he played 90 minutes and got a red card at the end of it, and they got knocked out of the Carabao Cup. That is one time.
That's how you do it, bro. That's how you do it. That's how you make a statement.
Show up, and he's still getting paid thousands a week. I mean,
obviously, he's a fan favorite. I mean, literally, he's a fan favorite ever since Galaxy, really. But I understand why. But it's just the selection of right backs, aka just 2. It really, if you count Israel Reyes, he's truly a center back mostly. But yeah, I mean, I say a yay, but also a nay at the same time. You know what I mean? Just because in between selections, I'm in between. You know what I mean? Yeah. Also, he hasn't played a lot, so I understand why.
I mean, I want him to get game time so he can get selected, but like right now, yeah, he doesn't deserve it.
It's hard to pick him. You know what I mean? You can't, except for glazing. It's his bias. That's the only reason you can really pick him. So
it wasn't that bad of a red card, you know. We can look at
I mean, it was all right. Studs up. It is what it is.
I mean, for the simple fact that he's not playing is the only reason he's not here. That's the only thing. Now, honestly, there's an inverse argument to this where I do think you could make a claim that maybe he should be here to flip it around, and maybe you get game time with Mexico, and maybe Bournemouth gives you game time on the other hand. But international football is not to earn club football minutes; it's the other way around. So I think we're all in agreement that it's agreed that with Javier Aguirre here, that is the 4 of them. Now let's talk about some injury exclusions here. Those that are not here, and you can make almost a pretty good starting 11, at least a good 6 aside here. Is what I'm seeing. Santi Jimenez is not here because of injury. We know that for AC Milan. He won't be back till maybe mid to late November at best. Julian Quinones is not here. He unfortunately picked up a knock in one of his most recent games in the Saudi League. That is a big miss. Chino Huerta in the same boat. Underlect, recent injury, same position, not here as well. Alexis Vega is also not here. Rodrigo Huescas, we know he's not here. He won't be here until the World Cup, maybe. And Elias Montiel, who I think is the biggest miss on this list, is Elias Montiel. Are there any of those players you wish you would have been able to see this one, guys?
I think Montiel,
yeah.
Easily.
Yeah. I mean,
with
how strong
the squad the midfield that he picked, it would be interesting those three together.
Getting game time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this was the window, and Montiel was one of those players that we unfortunately have not seen for a multitude of reasons, namely being the U20 World Cup, now being injuries and whatnot. It sucks that we can't see the midfield three that we want to see play for Mexico, probably until the World Cup, or at least until March. March is the next big international window. It won't be until then where we might see a combination of Montiel, Edson, and Mora, or you throw Ruiz in there and whatnot. This is a huge miss. This is a huge miss, unfortunately. If there's anyone that you wish you would have seen in this window, let us know in the comments down below. But let's talk about some players that we are going to see in this window that maybe were a little unexpected. Number one, Gilberto Mora. Now, he wasn't supposed to be here because of injury, but how do you guys feel that he is here now?
He's got that dog in him, bro. He said, watch this. He said, watch this, bro. He said, watch this.
Did you see his interview yesterday or 2 days ago?
Hells yeah. I love that energy.
It's unreal. It's an undressed take. It's an undressed take.
You can't just rock up to the World Cup and be like, man, I don't know what's gonna happen. You gotta have that mentality. And then there's no point in playing if you're gonna have a mentality that is saying, yeah, we're not gonna win it. Like you say that in an interview, like then what's the point of playing? You're not gonna get called up if that's your attitude. So true. I love the ambition.
Yeah, for those without context, he did do an interview the other day saying that he was asked who are the favorites for the World Cup, and he said Mexico with a straight face. He said Mexico. Take that as you will. It's confidence, like you said, right? You look at it from a realistic point of view. You combine all three CONCACAF teams, they still wouldn't win the World Cup. But it's a good take. It's a good point of view to have.
Hey, dark horse, put money on him. I'm just saying.
Sure,
$50.
Sure.
You never know. That payout's gonna go crazy.
That's losing $50. But if you want it, if you want to take that risk, go right ahead. He's a huge inclusion here. I think it's about time we see him a little bit more. And again, same thing as Montiel, not here with U20 World Cup, injuries as well here and there. But it's time that he's become more of a true starting 11 player, because he is that. We saw that in the Gold Cup, and I think. I'm happy to see him compared to the midfield that they brought for this tournament, or for these friendlies. I'm sorry. It's good for competition, and I do like to see that a lot. Another young Mexican midfielder involved here, playing in the MLS for Seattle Sounders, Obed Vargas is involved here. And that's a great call.
Dude, this midfield, for once, I can actually be like happy when I see that lineup. Well, fingers crossed.
I see that lineup, we haven't seen it yet, and it's still Javier Aguirre.
Yeah, I know, but there's the potential's there, and that's what excites me. You know what I mean? The potential is there. Look, he put himself on the map realistically a little bit before the Club World Cup, but definitely after the Club World Cup for his performance for Seattle Sounders, and then now, the other day he literally sent it to game 3 for Seattle against Minnesota.
Almost got a hat trick too.
In
that game,
he's on fire. Realistically, his build-up play is fantastic, and his build-up play kind of excites me a little bit with another player that recently got called up as a striker. I think they could link up pretty good. I'm not gonna say who it is just yet, but I'm kind of excited to see some of these players play in place of other players aren't there. Santi specifically in the striker position. Someone's got to claim it besides Raul. I'm excited. It's a great addition in my opinion.
I think it's about time too. It's one of those players that I think Mexican fans have been very keen on seeing since he switched to Mexico. And I think he's got a first shot at that World Cup roster, right? And I think we're realizing now with the availability of healthy young midfielders, just how stacked this midfield is becoming, right? You obviously have Edson. Now you have Mora, Montiel, Ruiz, Obed Vargas. You can throw Brian Gutierrez in there, who just got his Mexican passport literally 2 or 3 days ago. Those are 5 players who could grow into making Mexico's midfield elite. All 5 of those players have the ability and maybe chance to play for a top club in Europe or beyond North America. That is absolutely fantastic.
That depth is crazy, like for the midfield going forward.
The depth is insane. And it's such a turnaround. Because, I mean, it's a good sign. Obviously, Charlie's not there, and you had the rest of them. The ones we see every time: Luis Romo, Eric Lira, Orbelin Pineda. Some of them are still with the squad, yes, but I think we're about to see the depth show up, the young depth show up. I think he's going to really show that he deserves to be here. I mean, he's one of the best midfielders in the entire MLS, especially on center as one of their best players, and he's showing it week in and week out. And he's only 20 years old. He's younger than all of us, guys.
That's crazy. He's balling, bro.
He's balling. I know.
He's balling. You gotta respect it.
You have to. Now let's get out the midfield at least a little bit here for now. Andres mentioned it a little bit ago. New striker addition, who I think has been deserving of a call-up for a minute now. Armando Gonzalez, also known as La Hormiga, or the Ant in English, the Ant. I read the story and why I was, and I totally forgot the story. Some childhood story where his family started calling him La Hormiga. 11 goals in 12 starts in La Apertura. It's about time he's here. How does that make you feel? Andres first, because you were very excited about this. How does this make you feel?
It's a Chicha regen, bro. I've seen the tape.
Oh, wow.
He's literally a fox in the box. Minus the whole controversy towards the end of his career, but we don't talk about that part. Right. No, he's literally a Chicha regen from Chivas. Fox in the box. All his goals are literally Fox in the box. He's amazing in build-up play. The passes he does is incredible. Granted, I'm not trying to glaze the man, but I mean, it's still impressive. Well, I'm gassing him up. It's still impressive in any league scoring 11 goals in 12 games, and it's crazy. It generally is crazy, and I like the energy. He makes the right runs. The goals he scored, he for some reason loves lingering in the back post, which is fantastic because a lot of the crosses do go back post and nobody's there. So hopefully he can capitalize on that. And he's just willing to get stuck in. And that's something that Mexico needs up top. And so I'm excited to see him how he links up when he does get the minutes, So it's going to be very important. I think this is a great opportunity for him to steal at least a rotation striker spot here. Santi's gone and Santi's been woeful. I'm not gonna lie. I wish he's done better. I'm not hating. I'm not a hater of Santi, but there's nothing to back his performances up that gives me hope that he's gonna be a starting striker. Unfortunately, we've talked about this several times on the channel, but he's just not that guy. He's just not that guy, pal. And unfortunately, and sometimes that's okay. You know what I mean? So maybe Armando here's gonna take a spot here, take a cheeky little spot here and prove himself. I hope he does. I really do. Can't go wrong with the Chivas, man. You know what I mean? Back there.
There you go.
Sure, I don't know if that's caught on camera, but I'm assuming it is. So
it will be.
I saw some comments mentioning that scarf back there. So you know what? I'm just saying. No
Which is so funny because we
he's
never
a Chicha
talk
regen,
about you.
bro. I know.
Yeah,
but he's a Chicha regen. Literally, think about it. Fox in the box from Chivas. Next thing you know, he's gonna play for Manchester United. I don't know. Super sub.
Mm-hmm. He also has a nickname about something small, right? Ant and P, and then the little P for Chicharito. It's great. Joaquin, how does Armando's inclusion make you feel?
I mean, it's a breakout year. He got 3 goals last year in the league, and to come out here and get 11 already in 12 starts, yeah, I mean, he deserves it. And I just think they need another striker now, to mix up the current formula that they've been trying.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, Mexico's striker depth is nothing to write home about. Now, there are some players in the pipeline, that are playing over in Europe, but they're not getting the chances, things like that. Armando Gonzalez is one player who, like I said in the beginning, I think has been deserving of a call-up for at least a few months now. And he's been absolutely killing it for Chivas. Santi needed competition, right? I think, most Mexican fans are content with Raul leading the line in World Cup 2026. Beyond that, though, it was looking a little bit iffy. What was going to happen after? Because this is probably Raul's last big hurrah. What was going to happen after? Is Santi going to kick it into gear? It's not looking like it. It still could happen, but at this point, we don't know. It's looking like it might be Armando Gonzalez. And I want to applaud Javier Aguirre for making this call-up because we know
will he
him.
Play though? That's the question. He makes
that
the call-up.
Is the thing.
Will he play? Are we going to see a Betarame, just chilling
we better
up top?
not.
I sure hope not. You call the kid up. Play the man. You know what I mean? You call him up. You have all the hype about him. Play him.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
I don't care against who. I want to see him in the starting 11. I want to see him with our best players possible and see how he connects. Because I genuinely, I think he could do really well in link-up play. The things I've seen when I watched the tape is very promising. Especially being able to bring down that ball under pressure against the teams like Uruguay and Paraguay. They're going to be teams that are going to be physical. And we're kind of missing that outlet ball because Raul drops off a lot. when we're trying to build up. And he's a player that could be that focal point, that he's willing to get stuck in, bring the ball down, and then find feet. That's something we need. Raul can do that great, but also at the same time, he is a lot faster than Raul, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone is really. Raul is fast, though, to be fair, for his age and build.
I would very much appreciate seeing Armando start in the Paraguay game. I think Uruguay still has to go to Raul Jimenez, which is totally fine. I think he's still capable enough to get Mexico a potential win here. But Paraguay is the game you experiment in. If you start Beltrame, which I hope you don't, you bring you bring Armando in at the bare minimum. But as long as Armando's getting minutes, because like I said, I was trying to say earlier, Javier Aguirre, he might call up these younger players, but he doesn't let them play. He's starting now, and this might be because of injuries. It's forcing him to let the young guys play, which is great. That's exactly what we want to see. Now, let's talk about the rest of the attack real quick. This is probably the best highlight of the attacking call-ups. The rest are pretty piss poor. I mean, you look at the wingers, unfortunately. You have, Chucky Lozano, which it isn't bad. It isn't bad, but it's not the same Chucky we know, right? Diego Lainez is there. Obviously, Piojo is there per usual. And then you have like Alexis Gutierrez. And I've seen a lot of – I'm not going to pretend like I know this player a lot because I don't watch America a whole lot. But I'm seeing a lot of discourse online about how Alexis Gutierrez should not be called up. So
it's the America bias, bro. Let's just be honest here. It totally is. You got no other options.
He's fine. Yeah, he's fine. He's doing okay for America, but he would not sniff this team if there weren't all these injuries, right? When I went over
our injuries are wingers, bro. They're all our wingers.
Yeah.
He's a rotation player for America pretty much. So to get called up for one of the attackers, kind of like, I feel like there's more players that deserve it more.
Yeah, I mean, good for him.
Someone else, right? Dude, genuinely, anyone. Piojo too. Honestly, I already know he's gonna start. Yeah. Obviously, because he just annoys me so much. Fucking Rio.
I mean,
he's the next player I'm hating, bro. Because I know he's gonna be a part of this World Cup squad, and I'm gonna hate him every time he gets the ball. It's just a fact. Yeah. Certified hate watch for Piojo.
I do feel it's very annoying. It's very annoying because like we haven't, and this is circumstance. We haven't seen Chino Huerta be able to perform. We haven't seen Julian Quinones be able to perform just because they're just either not able to go to these breaks or they're injured or whatnot. That's really frustrating because I think the World Cup, we don't want to see Diego Lainez and Chucky Lozano be starting every game. That doesn't breed success. Maybe in 2018, sure, but 2026, no, we don't want to see that. This is one of the shortcomings of this window of the call-ups. And again, circumstance, I'm not going to give Javier Aguirre too much stick for this one because a lot of players are hurt. That is just the case. Now, another point on this team where I think is very lacking as well is the right back spot. We mentioned it already. But if Kevin Alvarez is your guy right now, or Israel Reyes, I see probably they're mixing it up here. It's one of the positions where you're very, very, very short on. Like Huescas was the answer, and of course he was the one player to get the worst injury in the entire team, and now we have to deal with Kevin Alvarez.
Don't remind me, bro.
I'm sorry. Do you think we're gonna see an improved performance from Kevin in this one, or is it gonna be in there because he has to be in there?
No, I think there's plenty. I'm sure they had plenty of right backs to choose from. Obviously, maybe some unknown players that you wouldn't expect. But I'm assuming this is the time to test it. You know what Jorge can bring to the table. Obviously, now it's kind of that time to experiment. You know what a lot of these midfielders can bring. So now it's time to give the kids a shot. The attackers, same thing. A lot of these players. Yes, they're injured, but you have a rough idea what they can bring. Obviously, it sucks for Chino because we haven't seen a lot of Chino since he's moved to Anderlecht, and unfortunately, someone's got to fire their physio team because that man's always injured. So since he's moved, but for the right back position, I think it's just one of those things where you just got to test it out. I think Mateo Chavez probably has it on lock for the left back, especially after this last international window. I thought he did a really good job. Obviously, I'm expecting Gallardo to play.
Unfortunately.
I got two haters now on this team. Unfortunately, the hate continues. But yeah, I think this right back spot, it's up for grabs. Let's be honest, and I'm hoping someone takes it. Reyes, I think he's shown moments in games and certain games where he's done really well, but I also think it's not solidified that right back spot, and it's time for someone to step up. It's kind of like the striker position. Someone's got to take the backup striker / rotating striker. So this is a moment give it. And I respect Aguirre giving players these opportunities. He just hasn't played. Let's be real. He just hasn't played anytime he's been in part of the squad. So I think it's a moment to shine, just to see a little glimpse. No complaints there from my opinion. Unless he has an absolute horrible take, then unfortunately we have to settle with Jorge Sanchez, which would be tragic.
Well, but that's the thing though. I was gonna say is, will we, like, because my worry right now is Javier Aguirre doesn't know who his starting right back is. He doesn't. Obviously, it was Huescas, but he doesn't have a clear number two. That clear number two I thought was Jorge Sanchez, but him not being here confuses me a little bit, because I don't think Kevin Alvarez is going to be the starting right back at the World Cup. I think it's going to be Jorge Sanchez. It's just an interesting call up. Why not bring both of them in for this one?
He was in bad form coming into the break, so that might be one reason. But
I
even
guess,
then,
but
like, he plays different. Yeah, I don't know.
It's not like that stopped them before. Jorge Sanchez has been in the team for too long. You might as well keep writing it out at this point. That's what I thought was going to happen. Another position that I'm also curious about is the goalkeeper position.
Don't even
It's been the same three keepers for it feels like years now, and that also feels like there is no clear number one. Like it's Malagón, but then why are we still getting the same opportunities, right? You look at the USA for one. Matt Freese might be the number one right now, but they're interchanging who they're bringing in for the keeper, right?
Shit,
they're giving him chances. They're giving him chances, like other people chances, because they want to do that to dethrone Matt Freese. But like Mexico's doing the same players every time. I feel like, I don't know, it's kind of weird for me. Why not bring in like a Alex Padilla, just give him up there? Well, you're bringing the same two players.
Malagón, but at least the two backups, like, try something else just in case.
Bring him in. I mean, you're bringing Rangel here and there. You might as well start bringing Acevedo. I'm just worried that they're doing all this just to play Malagón twice again.
Sorry, Acevedo's so bad, bro.
3 haters.
Yeah, I know.
He doesn't deserve to be part of the national team. I mean, dead ass. I'd rather see anyone else, genuinely. That's why I'm a Memo supporter, bro. Like he's sitting on the bench. He's not playing, right? Might as well bring in someone who's at least adds something to the team, because I know he doesn't do anything. He probably sits there during lunch, doesn't talk to anybody. He just vibing. Get his little sweet little paycheck. He's just vibing there. I'm sure, because he's not touching the pitch. Let's be real. He's not going to play either of these two games.
That helps my point though. Is we don't know the goalkeeper situation. Like the fact that Memo is even being considered here, it's like we don't know what the goalkeeper depth situation is that bad that some fans would prefer to bring Memo Ochoa in. I'm just curious as to, like, if Malagón's going to keep playing, or he sees something in Rangel and that's why he gets called up. Obviously, you bring in what you can. There's not really many alternatives. It's just I haven't seen a lock-in yet. I want to see a lock-in on who's going to be the starting goalkeeper, and it looks like Malagón, unfortunately. But, I mean, they're all like... bleh.
The America bias is crazy.
Malagón is, he has many shortcomings. We've been seeing that the past few windows.
Bro, he's been getting exposed the past few windows. He started off strong. And then he's been getting... What worries me the most for this World Cup is he sucks when it comes to crosses. Anything in the air, he sucks. Like, he's not confident, which is fine. Certain keepers have different strengths and weaknesses, and that's unfortunately one of his weaknesses. The only fucking problem is a lot of teams, all they do is cross the ball in the box, which is going to create a lot of issues. So I mean, he can get away with that in Liga MX. That's perfectly fine. But in the international stage, when teams literally their entire attack, you got an England squad whose focal man is amazing with headers. It's kind of a problem. You know what I mean? Right. You got the bigger teams, and all they're gonna do is cross that ball in, because, like, let's be honest, this back line is very short relatively compared to the rest of the world. Don't get me wrong, Johan Vazquez, Cesar Montes are tall individuals, but there's also taller strikers out there, and they're going to struggle a little bit. I think it's just it's frustrating, because I know they can get the job done. Malagón can get the job done, to an extent, but it's not going to be like anything crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to rely on him like I did with, like, I had full confidence in Memo back in like 2018, 2022. You know what I mean? Like 2014, especially 2014, where it's like, all right, we're good. Like, we're fine. Like, we got Memo. You know what I mean? Back there, I'm like, anything can really happen in those last cheeky bum time. What am I thinking? I didn't mean squeaky bum time, as the English say. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be a little nervous. I won't lie.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's frustrating. It's kind of like the striker position. No one's really taking it, but at the same time, Malagón's kind of secretly got it kind of unlocked. But at the same time, someone delivers a good performance, then, then something can change. But I wish I did. Yeah, I agree with you, Elijah. I wish we saw a different variety in the group. You know, it just gives someone a different chance. You know,
well, you can bring these players in, but I just want to see him play different players. I don't want to see Malo go and be the go-to anymore because he's not. He shouldn't be. He's not good enough to be the go-to. Let's see Rangel get more chances. Let's see Acevedo just for the hell of it to get some more chances. Like I said, bring in the Expedia, bring in whoever else you want to bring in. Bring in the guy who was a goalkeeper for them at the U20 World Cup. He did pretty good. Yeah. You know, but like just start trying out. Yeah, Ochoa. Let's just start bringing in new players there. I think a lot of fans would agree with me on the sentiment that we're just tired of seeing Malo go because he doesn't bring it. He doesn't bring it for the amount of opportunities he has. Gentlemen, any last thoughts before we end this video off?
It's gonna be international. What the fuck am I saying?
Yeah,
it's gonna be an interesting international window, I think, for Mexico. A lot of things are gonna be tested, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah,
place your bets now.
Place your bets now. Plus 500.
Well, that is going to be it from us. Now, this won't be the last bit of content from Mexico in this international window. We will have a preview and predictions out, of course. I'm not sure if it's going to be one video or one for each game, but we will see. You guys will see later on if you hit subscribe down below and turn notifications on. Make sure to comment down below if we missed anybody to talk about or you want to talk about anybody we did talk about. Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Leave a like if you're excited for this November window against Uruguay and Paraguay. My name is Elijah. I was joined by Joaquin and Andres. Per usual, we're Getting Football, and we'll see you guys in a future video. Take care.